Travel Quest Network. It's Bonnie Lee, and I'm on the Celebrity Infinity. And I found Linda Behrens, one of our top agents, who's here with us. Hey, hi.
Hey,
How are you?
good.
Okay, where are you from?
Corona, South Dakota.
Oh my God! See, we have. The greatest thing about this trip is I'm going to say like 90% of us are actually from very small towns. Very small towns. So the success of an agent then is not specific to where we live.
Nope. Nope.
One of the best part about actually traveling with people like you, Linda, is you really know, you begin to know very intimate things about each other. I learned something very intimate about what Linda always packs. She never, she never travels
Oh,
without a printer. Yes, a printer. I mean, like a print the Word document printer.
travel printer.
She travels with a travel printer. So now this next statement is going to sound really stupid. Linda, are you a paper person or are you an electronic person?
I'm a paper person. I like to keep
Obviously,
paper trails.
obviously, thus the printer. When she goes, I'm like, a printer? Like, how big is this thing? I'm just curious.
Oh, it's only like this big, very small,
Oh, cool.
and it's just fine, you know.
Well, which actually might work nice for me sometimes because sometimes I do have to print things.
Yeah.
So now we got to get on to the meat of the matter because I know Linda from a lot of the groups that you do because I've seen like just this incredible touch factor that she has with her customers. So I'm thinking she does mostly groups, and I go, "Do you do mostly groups?" She goes, "No, I do all kinds of things."
A little bit of everything.
She's a little
Always.
bit of everything. Have you ever said no to anything?
Not
Anybody,
really.
anything?
Not really. You know, I can do the flights and the hotel and the rental car for somebody going to a NASCAR race, and then I'll go get them the tickets to the NASCAR race as
And
well.
why do you do that? Why do you do that? I
It's
mean, I'm
just
going to guess there's no money exchanging hands right there.
no,
Or
not for
is
the
there?
tickets. No,
Okay.
no.
So why do you do that?
Just because I can, and then they've got everything in one neat little package. When my people go on a cruise, they have their boarding passes, their luggage tags, laminated with little twisty tie things for their bags. All they have to do is add credit card and a passport to their envelope, and they're ready to go.
So, back to my NASCAR person, who there's probably not much money to be made there. What's your thought process in actually doing that for them? Are you looking forward and going,
Oh yeah.
where, where,
Mm,
so you're assuming,
My business, okay, these people that do NASCAR this year, next year they'll probably turn around and do a winter vacation, you know, maybe an all-inclusive somewhere or something like that. And then after I've done all of that for them, they go and they tell their neighbor, "Oh my God, she was just amazing. She did all of this for us. We have this envelope. All we have to do is add our passport or our credit card or whatever they have to have. It's there. It's completed. The important things are highlighted. So if there's a pickup or something like that, I usually highlight that. So I tell them pay attention to the highlighted things, and they tell the next person. And I have people that call me Pennsylvania out of the blue because I worked with somebody that they knew, or a cousin or a friend or whatever, and they
you
just
are
said,
really,
call her.
I have seen the things, not the things, I've seen the documents she sends to her customers. I have seen it, and I'm telling you, if I were not a travel agent, what you give to people is exactly what I would want. Even though I'm a fairly technological person, I do like technology. In actuality, even to go on any trips Walt and I go on, I usually print my stuff because I don't always trust the world. So what you're doing there is pretty much what I think most people would like. Now, got any?
People they like stuff.
They do.
They like stuff printed. And sometimes like, oh, somebody's going to go to New York or something like that. I will go find a PDF of the top things to do in New York. I will print that out, put a cover page on each side of it, and I will actually spiral bind it.
You did this. I went. You mean spiral, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Do you have your own spiral binder?
Yes.
Aha!
I don't travel with it though, but
What? I have something I needed bound tonight. You know,
no, I'll bind well, Royal Caribbean used to have these nice little booklets with that you could do all the excursions.
uh-huh.
So I would print a small version of the excursions, spiral it, and include it with their travel documents. So they had all of that to look at. questions about what to do, what to bring, what to do, at the pier when you get there. That's all in there, and some people just like to study
It's
that.
nice.
And know
I'm
what's
telling
going
you,
on.
when we got on this ship and I went to the guest relations and the shore excursions, and I saw all these people lined up because maybe they hadn't pre-bought the drink package, or they wanted to prepay their gratuities, or they hadn't booked their shore excursions. And I thought, how much vacation time is being like dropped
Yep.
on the floor here, because maybe the client didn't know, maybe the agent didn't give them the stuff. So by you handing that out, again, you're all about helping them save time, get on, go to the bar if they want, go pick up some lunch without having to stand in those lines, because
Right.
I could see the irritation on some people's faces. So how do you find your groups? How do you find it? Do you have a specific way you do things or not?
No, not really. I mean, if I've got somebody
She's a
that,
magnet, that's why I'm telling you. You know, you meet certain, I'm not a magnet. I would say you are a magnet.
well, if I've got, one or two people that are interested in a cruise, I'll start with those one or two people, and ask them, do you have other people that want to travel with you?
So you ask him straight up out front.
yeah,
Do you have
yeah.
somebody else? You know,
Or how
I've
many
always
people do you
heard that.
expect?
I have always heard that as advice to do. I'm going to tell you, I never ever did it. So that you do that. That's
I do that,
great.
and then if I know that they're going to have 5 or 6 cabins, I'll start a group. Start the group.
Uh-huh.
You can always add into it. And if you don't make it, I've got a group right now that's only 4 cabins. And they're going to still get some group amenities with 4 cabins. And most
Which is-
people think, oh, we got to have those 8 cabins.
They
You
still
don't
get
necessarily
stuff.
have to have the 8.
Which is interesting. So this is the Travel Quest Top Agent trip. We built a group. It was in Travelport Cruise and Tour, and it was in Cruise Pro. Sure enough, I get the list of people in the group, and I'm like, I don't know that one, and I don't know that one. So we have members of Travel Quest who have booked into a group. The person got all the exact same amenities that we did. It's perfect. So you have your groups, and you can sell into, we're selling into them, you're selling into them, and then everybody ends up a winner in the end.
Right.
But you do ask, are
And
you sailing
I have
with
some
anybody?
groups that'll travel like every other year. And so I just got through with a big one this June. And now in 2 years they want to travel again, and they want to do the Norwegian fjords. So the group that I just finished was Greece. And when that itinerary came out, day 2, I secured a bunch of cabins for that itinerary.
Uh-huh.
So, these people were doing 12-day Greek or 9-day Greek Isles for $1,500 a person in a balcony.
Was that because you just really searched it out and you did
Got
blah,
the price
blah,
right
blah?
away.
Awesome. I mean, it is. Because I don't sell that much anymore, I have forgotten certain things like that. So let me ask you this. You know, Travel Quest has Cruise Fish. Do you ever put your cruises in Cruise Fish? And you can say no or yes, because you might be like, I have not got a freaking clue what you're talking about.
No,
Interesting.
no.
I was just curious. In Cruise Fish, you just put it in, and then it alerts you if the price went down. But you just seem like the type of
I kinda
person.
watch it.
You're watching it. See, she doesn't. I would have needed an automated system.
Yeah. No, I watch it. And if it does go down, then I'll modify. Early into a big group that I did have, the price went down, and they offered an onboard credit. And one day I ended up modifying like 30 reservations. So,
How did you teach yourself all this stuff?
well, if you don't know it, find it out, figure it out. You know?
So, have you done a lot of the certification courses, like the cruise certification courses?
Yeah, some of the cruise
and
stuff I have.
resorts or anything like
Resorts,
that?
yes.
Do you do
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, I do that when I have time.
Well, because now you're busy, but maybe, when you weren't so busy, you did have time. Do you take the time then, like resorts that have reward programs, do you register your bookings
Yes,
in them?
all the time.
So when do you do this? How do you remember how to do it? Because I was just talking to Pam Severance, and everybody kind of has their thing. I know what I did in my head, but I'm always, so when do you do that? When do you register?
Boy, that's a good question because I don't always have time right away.
Mm-hmm.
So probably when I'm putting the final payments on, and I've got a group that's in a file, then it's like, okay, let's do everybody in this group so it's all done.
That's, you know what, the interesting thing is that's exactly what Pam said, but then she said, but except for Sandals and Beaches, you have to
Do that right
register
away.
here because she knows the one-off. But when I did travel, I did the exact same thing. I registered
Yeah.
them when I had my travel documents in hand. But it is, there's so much money left on the table. How do you keep track, or do you, so let's say today you booked an Iberostar. Do you go read about Iberostar to see if they have a program, or what do you do there? How do you keep up with who's got what?
Gosh, I kind of get more familiar with the hotels that I like and that I've had really good experiences with. Because if it's a hotel that I haven't had a good experience with, it's not coming past my desk again.
And so interesting, you just dittoed exactly what Pam said, because, oftentimes I'll be reading consumer blogs and they will, they might be referencing travel agents sell certain hotels because they get a kickback or a bonus, whatever we would all call it. But in my mind, I always said, well, I might sell it and get a bonus or
No.
recommend it, but it's only if I believe it's the perfect
know,
thing. And you just said the same.
Just work with good quality. And if they treat me right and they treat my clients right, that's all I care about. That my clients have a worry-free experience.
Oh, thus the
and they-
name of your company,
and that
which
they-
I didn't ask her. What's the name of your company?
Worry-free getaways.
See, that's the name of your company,
Yeah.
which is really true.
Yep.
Because I always took that so personal when I would read and I would read. I took everything. Well, it means that Bonnie Lee only sells this resort because of this. No, because I would sell it because I know it's perfect for the
Exactly,
customer, and I want them
exactly.
back next year. I wanna take care of them.
You want
so.
them to come back and say they had a great time and thank you and yeah.
So
That's really
if
rewarding.
you had one tip for someone who is, not necessarily new, but maybe fairly new, or who's seasoned and believes they know everything,
Yeah.
we always know there are people like that. Do you have like a tip you would throw out on the table?
I have some.
Oh wait, do you do Europe?
Yeah, I do Europe.
And how do you
I do almost everything.
Do you do FITs? Do you do cruises in
It
Europe?
just depends. It depends on what the client wants. Sometimes they may want to cruise, or they may want to just go and hop around. I sometimes will look at maybe a tour company for them because then you're not there without a plan.
So a tour company, by saying a tour company, you're referencing.
Oh, it
Like a
could be
Globus?
a Globus or
Okay.
Trafalgar or something like that, so that
You're talking about a
you're not
package
just
tour.
going. You're not just going, to Ireland and okay, now what are we going to do when we get here? Because that's frustrating.
Right,
If you know
right.
where you're going to go, what you're going to do, what you're going to see, it makes that trip much more flawless and
And when you do all the trainings, even for those, I always found that I got so much information from the tour operator as well. Like
Exactly.
I was on the mailing list and I
Yeah,
learned a
yeah.
lot. Well, good. Did you have something else to say? I was like, well, good. I had to throw Europe in there because
Oh.
I know you do Europe,
Yeah.
and I was kind of excited about
Yeah, yeah.
the fact that you did do Europe.
Nope,
Any
I
other
pretty
tips?
much
Just
do
learn.
everything, and what you need to know, you got to go find it.
Well, cool. Well, oh, she has water here, and I have my little bit of my. This is a very tiny glass. I'm just saying. Cheers to
Cheers.
your success, my friend.
Thank you.